Well, coming to a new program, obviously having to learn the playbook, dove into the playbook, focused more on the technique, did the, unseen hours, unrequired work. So, doing the little things to make sure when fall camp came around, I was, full ready to go.
Perry was just talking about you need safeties who are capable of playing all three spots out there. How comfortable do you feel, whether it's nickel up high or strong?
I'm very comfortable. At my previous school, played everything. So just, showing that versatility, I feel like, that's like, at my best, and that's something that I do very well.
What makes you a better fit at adjuster over nickel where you were playing?
Like you said, just a few minutes ago, being versatile, I feel like, I could play back in the post. I feel like, I can cover man-to-man. I feel like I can do, everything. So wherever I'm needed, that's where I'm going to go.
Jihad, at the Big Ten meetings, I asked Ryan Day, who's a breakout guy? Who are players that you can't wait to see play? He said Trey Henderson because of his injury. He said Sonny, and he said you. Do you feel like you've earned your spot?
I wouldn't say I earned anything because, still going through camp, still doing that. But I really, want to thank Coach Dave for, putting that out there. So, I got something to show come this upcoming season.
What do you envision your role being this year? Obviously running with the first team. What do you think your role's going to be this year?
Just being out there at one of those, safety spots and doing what I got to do when it comes time.
When you transferred from Syracuse, was Ohio State like the runaway favorite from day one? Was it a tough call between another school and Ohio State? Just take us through your decision there.
It was, between a couple schools. Not going to really, talk too much on it because I'm here now and I'm, happy with my decision. But it came down to, 3 schools, and I felt like this was the best fit for me.
Jihad, when you talk about the versatility and being able to play all 3 spots, do you feel like you play all 3 of them evenly, or do you think that maybe deep down there's one that you're better suited to?
Really, I feel like, I can play, anywhere, whether it's nickel or one of the high safeties. I feel like, all of them, I have my strengths and weaknesses, and the things that I'm not so great at, definitely, attack those things more and also tune up the things that I feel like, I do good at.
You mentioned moving around a little bit at Syracuse. That versatility you had there, is that something that you got to Syracuse with, or something you felt like you had to develop when you got there?
In high school, always, guys are two-way athletes. So, I felt like, playing way back in high school, actually played corner. So kind of, making the transition to safety, like I always, had that versatility, speed and being able to, track the ball and things like that.
Jihad, Sonny Styles in a nutshell. What do you see when you see Sonny Styles?
Sonny, big guy, young too. I didn't even know Sonny was, that young. Coming in, and last year I think they say he was just turned 18 or something like that. So, Sonny a big guy, and, he got, some very special talent. So can't wait to see Sonny play and be out there with him.
Yeah, the very special talents, the way you define very special talents, a guy who's also a football player, how would you define those? What stands out about his special talents?
Being big and able to move how he moves. Like, it's not a lot of guys, that's that big and, can move how he move. And like I said, the versatility, being able to play, everywhere on the field.
Going back to that injury, when did you know that it wasn't that serious and that you'd be able to come back? And in the moment, were you fearful that it could have been way worse?
A lot of times in the moment, when you, feel something or like tweak something, it's like, kind of thinking of the worst. But, once, talking with the trainers and things like that, got the diagnosis, I knew that it wouldn't be, something long lasting. Just had to, put those, hours in the training room and make sure that I was back prepared for fall camp.
Jihad, what's been the biggest difference between Syracuse and you? Is it just the overall talent on the roster? Is it scheme? Is it intensity? What is the one thing that maybe has been the biggest adjustment for you to make?
I could say the culture. Fight, like it's not just that, the brotherhood and the competition, like day in and day out. Like, rent is due every day. Like you can't have a bad practice or a bad day because the guy across from you is another, top guy in the country. So you got to bring it every day.
Does that seem to be the difference between Syracuse and here, kind of the attitude as far as aggressive and battling it out with one another?
Most definitely. There too, we competed, we battled out, but, at Ohio State, playing every year for a national championship, like that's something different. That's with, those games that we have to win, team up north, like that's a different mindset. So it's kind of like, a difference from here and there. Like you got to bring it every day, both places. But here it's like you playing for way more.
You just said team up north. How long did it take you to kind of get that stuff in your head that you don't say that dreaded word?
Yeah, I struggled a little bit. I wasn't really, saying it in the facility. I didn't really, know like the whole, thing behind it. But, like looking at it, it's like it's something serious. And, all the things that we do, leading up to that game, like got to make sure that we come out on top.
Jim was saying, Coach Knowles was saying the other day that he feels that for you at that adjusting spot, he says you process really well. Is that experience? Have you always been like that as a player?
Yes, sir. Like I said, like even coming into college, you gotta. I'm the type of guy, I gotta get, like live reps at it, things like that. But once I, get a grasp of it, gotta put the extra work in, and I get rolling because of the experience.
What are some of the things you've done since you joined the program here to kind of the extra work to help you process things, understand things quicker? Is it just like a lot of film, or what are the sort of things you do? Yeah,
maybe the main things, just, watching more film and, looking over the playbook, just minor things.
Is there somebody on the team, I think Lathan obviously is the most experienced, but that helped you as you tried to process things when you, like you said, you learned better when you're on the field. Mm-hmm. You couldn't be on the field that back half of the spring. Somebody who helped you more to help process and understand the defense as you were off the field?
All those guys, Lathan, Sonny, Proc, like, all those guys made sure that, I was good because in our room with Coach Eliano, like, we're held to the standard. Everybody got to know everything. So, not one guy just know, just one position. So all of those guys, helped me on the way, and then me putting in the extra time, watching film and going through the playbook also.
All right. Thank you, Jihad.
Thank you.